Stranger Things duos. Let's get started. First up, we have Dustin and Steve. Dustin and Steve are the most iconic duo in Stranger Things. I feel like they make Stranger Things what it is. So I feel like Dustin and Steve have to go S tier because they're the most iconic duo in the show. I feel like they're solid A tier. Robin and Steve. I feel like Robin and Steve are a good duo. They have those funny moments in season 3 when they're getting attacked by the Russians. I feel like it's a solid duo, so I think that's gonna go in A tier. See, Robin and Nancy, alright. We don't get to see much of them. I think they're a B tier kind of duo. Mike and Nancy, I feel like this is a good brother and sister duo. We finally get to see them being siblings in season 5. I feel like they're a solid A tier. They're a solid A tier duo. I feel like they really did well. Max and Holly, we didn't have until season 5, and I feel like they carry most of season 5. So I feel like they're a solid A tier. Then we got 11 and Hopper, obviously the father and daughter kind of bond they have. I love their duo together, and it's sad that 11 dies, or does she? It's up to the viewer essentially. So I feel like their duo deserves the S tier standards, so they're gonna up there. Dustin and Lucas, I think they're solid B tier. Let's put them in B tier. And we got 11 and Max. They're pretty good together. In season 3 we got the Material Girl scene. I'll put 11 and Max in A tier because I feel like 11 and Max are A tier kind of duo. Mary and Joyce, they're solid B tier kind of duo, Will and Jonathan, let's put them in A tier because I think their dynamic is pretty well done. Will and Mike, they're pretty good together. They're solid B tier. Lucas and Erica, I feel like their dynamic is pretty good together. I feel like they're a solid B tier kind of duo, Erica and Dustin, I feel like they have a funny connection in season 3 because they're gonna have to go in a B tier. We got Alexi and Mary. Him and Mary had a good connection together. I feel like they're really funny, so I feel like they deserve the B spot. Robin are pretty good together. Robin goes to the same thing Will does, trying to come up to his friends, and I feel like they share that same bond, and I feel like their dynamic is really good together, so I think they're a solid A tier. Will and Joyce, it's a really nice mother and son duo. It's gonna go in A tier because I feel like they have a nice bond together, so A tier standards. I feel like 11 and Collie, I think I'm gonna have to put them in C tier. Next up we have Chrissy and Eddie, put them in the C category too. And then we got Nancy and Fred Benson, not to get confused with the iCarly character. We don't get to see much of them other than that one car together, that one car scene, and Freddie gets Vecna after, so put them in C tier. I think they're a C tier kind of duo. Jonathan and Argyle, they're a C tier kind of duo. Next up we have Hopper and Enzo. I think Hopper and Enzo, they're pretty good. This is where in season 3 where Hopper gives his monologue when he's in the Russian base, and I feel like they're a C tier kind of duo. Vecna 11 really bounce off of each other. It's like evil versus good. I'll put them in B tier. I feel like 11 and Vecna deserve the B tier standard. Next up we have Karen and Holly. I feel like their duo together is pretty well done. A solid B tier kind of duo. And then we got Dustin and Dart. Dart is cat, so I feel like their dynamic is kind of like a C tier dynamic. Billy, is kind of mean to Max, and he's kind of mean to her friends. They don't have a really good dynamic together. Miley sacrificed himself in season 4. I'll put them in B tier. Tommy Hagen and Cole Perkins, they're Steve's friends. It's a D tier. Kevin Powell and Phil Cunningham, I feel like they're kind of out of the loop, so they're like a D tier duo. Next up we have Troy Walsh and James Datton. These guys are just absolutely bullies to the OG party, and I feel like they're an F tier. Lieutenant Eggers and Dr. K, I feel like they're a solid C tier. Then we got 11 and Papa, and do the experiments on 11. I feel like 11 has a lot of trauma off of Papa, but I feel like their dynamic together in season 1 is pretty well done, so I feel like they deserve that B spot. Next up we have Vickie and Robin. I feel like I'm gonna put them in A tier. Next up we have Dustin and Susie. We don't really see Susie that much. I'm gonna put them in B tier. Next up we have 11 and Mike. They're gonna go S tier, the iconic duo. When you think about Stranger Things, you think about them, so I feel like that's why their duo is gonna go in S tier. Next up we have Hopper and Joyce. Their dynamic duo is really good. They're gonna go in S tier. We can see them have a happy ending. Lucas and Max, I thought they had a really good connection. Duo together is really strong, so I feel like they're gonna go in S tier. So I feel like Bob, Newbie, and Joyce are gonna go in A tier. I feel like Steve and Nancy are a solid A tier kind of duo. Nancy and Jonathan are gonna go in A tier. What is your favorite Stranger Things duo? This has been Time and Spice with the TV podcasts.